Hey, welcome back everyone. Not so grumpy today, got something working, pretty damn happy. So you would have seen the past couple of videos on getting the Raspberry Pi up and going with an OS. I went through and loaded the Google Assist onto the Raspberry Pi, used a little microphone, set of speakers, printed up a little enclosure for it, and now we have a homemade Google Home. Anyway, let's take a look at it now. So for this project, I'm assuming you've already got a Raspberry Pi loaded, so take a look at my last two videos on how to set up the Raspberry Pi OS, and while you're there, subscribe. Okay, so first things first, get yourself across to the Google Assistant website, and we're just going to follow through the process of getting it loaded here. We're obviously doing a Raspberry Pi 3. Let's just scroll down the page and see what needs to be done here. So if you followed my last videos, you've got the Raspberry Pi set up for SSH access, and you'll also have remote desktop access as well. So let's just try the date. Obviously that's okay because we've already set that up anyway. Just moving on to the audio now. So just scrolling down just to see what we need to do. Okay, let's get into it. Let's just take a look at what we've got the audio set up for, and just make sure that everything's enabled, ready to go. And let's put the levels right up. Enable the microphone. Okay, that's good to go. Shouldn't be using this, but anyway, just set it up. Okay, so let's just save that. Let's just go through the instructions from the Google site. So a record space -L will give us a list of all the connected microphones. A play space -L will give us a list of all of the devices for playback. That's our microphone. And there's our speaker. So just start up a text editor. So you could probably copy paste this from the Google site even, and we just need to change our particular card and device numbers for our microphone and our speaker. So our microphone card 1, device 0. And the speaker card 0, device 0. Okay, and we save that as .asoundrc in the home/pi directory. Let's just do the speaker test. Make sure the speaker's working okay. And trust me, I was hearing front left, front left, front left coming out of the speakers. Now do a test record to make sure the microphone's actually working okay. play that file back. And it helps if you actually type the right thing, and that worked a treat. So done. Let's move to the next step. Okay, so now what we need to do is create a project with Google, and yes, do make sure you're logged into your Google account when you do this. So go to that site, add project. What else would it be but the Grumpy Assistant? And I'm in Australia here. So create project, scroll down. So we want to enable the API now. So again, just go to that web link. Hit the enable. Pretty much just follow the instructions. Select the project, enable, and make sure that the activity controls are selected. I had been playing around with this previously, so they were for me. You may find that they weren't. I'm pretty sure I had to enable some the first time I went to the page, so do check them all, because they certainly weren't automatically enabled. Okay, let's register the device model. Again, just follow the links and instructions. Select your project. Connected Properties tab. Register. So a product name, use the same Grumpy Assistant. And just fill out the rest of the details. Now this is a bit of an odd one. I didn't really know what to select here, but I just selected scene in the end. You'll need to click the download credentials JSON link and save that away. Now we want to actually move that to our Raspberry Pi in the home Pi directory. Now if we take a look, it's actually there. Okay, so skipping traits for the moment. Just following down through the instructions. We've got our model ID there, device type and everything. We'll need that later on. So now we come to the actual code install. You can just copy these instructions straight out of the Google page, and if you connect using SSH, whether it be with PuTTY or terminal, you can just copy paste into the terminal window and run them, so it's nice and easy. A lot of these tasks actually take quite a long time, and I've sped up the video in those cases, or else it would drive you insane. I've given you the commands down below, but in all honesty, just copy and paste. There's less opportunity for error.
So honestly, this is just a matter of working your way down through all those commands. I did the Python 3 series of commands and ignored the Python 2.7. And as I say, this does take quite some time. Good time to make a cup of coffee in the middle of it. In saying that though, I didn't have any problems with any of the commands. They all ran without any issue whatsoever, and the instructions were right on the money. In that one, you need to change the path to actually home/pi to match where that credentials file actually was put, and it'll give you a URL that you need to paste into the browser. And allow. And then it'll give you the actual authorization code that you copy and paste back into the SSH window, and that's saved. So that's the credentials basically set up to use the API. So here we go. The big test, and it was working straight out of the box first go. So now what I wanted to do was set it up to run automatically on startup. So to do that, we need to create a little script file, which I've called Google Auto Start.
J.A.T.F.B.S.
And we're going to use bash shell. Activate the environment. And the command to run the Google Assist demo with our device ID, which I admit I didn't actually put in there to start off with, and it didn't actually work, so had to go back and change that file to include the device ID. And I just saved that into the home pi directory. That device ID certainly is a mouthful. Okay, so and save that to the home Pi directory, and we need to make that executable because it won't be by default with sudo chmod plus execute. And we can now actually try running it. And that worked a treat as well. So we've now got a script that we can just execute. So what we want to do now is go and edit the auto start file, and at the end of it just put an entry to execute that Google auto start script. And if we save that and do a reboot and give it a test, all was well. Okay, so I hacked the speaker enclosure apart and grabbed the speakers out of it because I wanted to mount them inside the actual enclosure, which I think come up pretty good.
Hey Google, what's my name?
Your name is GrumpyOld.
Hey Google, can you suggest somewhere for dinner?
I found a few places. The first one is Sandpiper's Restaurant at 81 Magnus Street in Nelson Bay. The second one is Little Beach Boathouse at 4 Victoria Parade in Nelson Bay. The third one is Rock Lobster Restaurant at Dalbora Marina, E26 Terramby Road in Nelson Bay.
Hey Google, will it be windy today?
No, it's not expected to be windy in Corlette today. The wind is expected to come from the northeast at 13 miles per hour.
Hey Google, can you give me a fun fact?
I saw on time.com, in 2016, people in Bessières, France cooked a 15,000 egg omelette for Easter. This giant omelette tradition was started by Napoleon Bonaparte.
Hey Google, what noise does a pig make?
A pig sounds like this.
Hey Google, can you remember things?
Sure, just say something like, remember the door code is 4453, and then ask, what is the door code?
Hey Google, remember my code is 12.
Okay, I'll remember that you said, my code is 1/2.
Hey Google, what is my code?
I remember you told me. My code is 1/2.
Hey Google, you look like Doctor Who.
I'm not sure what that means, but thanks.
Hey Google, what does grumpy mean?
Grumpy, bad-tempered and sulky.
Hey Google, remember you not telling me what I want to know makes me grumpy.
Okay, I'll remember that you said, you not telling me what I want to know makes me grumpy.
Well, there you go, and all went together pretty well. Code, no problems at all. Well, there were a couple little problems, but not to worry, sorted them out, and it's working a treat. If you like what I'm doing, then please do like the video. If you'd like to see more, then please subscribe, and don't forget to hit the chime so you get notified when I post something new. And I'll put a couple of links here to some other videos you can look at.